Dr. Haydar is a very well researched. He's a brilliant, and he's a medical doctor. So you're not hearing a naturopath. You're not hearing a Far East practitioner.
I will say one thing
Yeah.
about modern medicine. I think they probably do 99.9% of things wrong. Okay, so I was trained in modern medicine. I'm an MD. Okay, I went through residency. I practiced in hospitals, and I took care of patients who came in. Like I was basically a hospital doctor. So I was in the ICU. I was in the ER. I was on the floors,
Yeah.
seeing people who were admitted to the hospital. And I think they know how to keep you alive in a lot of situations. Even there they make a lot of mistakes, but in terms of chronic care, I think everything is wrong. And the basic reason is easy to understand, is that they're not addressing the root cause. Okay, so when you don't address if you don't address the root cause, you're just putting a band-aid on, right? So you're not seeing the symptoms anymore, and you think, oh, I'm great. And actually you're not great at all, because underneath the surface the thing is still like festering. It's still getting worse, right? So eventually the symptom suppressor will fail. It might take a year, it might take 5 years, it might take 10 years, but the problem is worsening underneath the surface, and eventually it will overcome the symptom suppressor, right? It's like if you graph it out, you have a symptom suppressor and you have the problem here and it's covered up, but it's on an upward trajectory. Eventually it breaks out from the symptom suppression, and you have a worse problem. So with modern medicine, and unfortunately a lot of alternative medicine too, you're taking a Band-Aid approach, and you're passing the buck to your future self. That's what you're doing. You're saying, I don't want to deal with it now. I don't want to rest more. I don't want to do whatever. And what you're basically doing is you're saying, I'm going to send this into the future where I'm going to have to deal with a much bigger problem then. Maybe it's a cancer or whatever, right? Or a heart attack or a stroke or something. And it's going to be much harder to fix if you don't deal with it now.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of a crucial thing, and it underlies kind of another issue that's related to all this. So let me kind of take this back, because we're talking about some things that are, they're fairly complex. And, for everybody watching or listening, I want you to hear. So Dr. Haydar is talking about something that I actually have noticed that all doctors, natural or otherwise, do tend to come together on, and that's that we are not really addressing the cause of a lot of these problems. I mean, we're dealing with symptoms, we're dealing with this, but we focus, and this goes back to the Rockefeller model, we focus on treatment of symptoms because there's a lot of money there. We don't ever deal with causes. In fact, to that extent, we've got the FDA, and they're generally regarded as safe list of things that you can add to foods and other things. You've got all of these different things. They continue to add new things, add chemicals, allow for further processing, to take steps to take us farther away from what was originally a natural world that our body was designed to work with, and closer to this, I don't know, this just fake treated, cover up your symptoms for this that are caused for the sake of convenience. And it is really, convenience is one of the major issues we face. People want to be more productive, more energy, more this, more that. I personally, I don't have time to sleep ever. We talk about that being an issue. You talk about, you eat poorly, or you don't exercise, or you don't this, you don't that. We've got all of these things that contribute to causing health issues. And then rather than solving the health issues, which would inherently point to fixing the cause, we put a Band-Aid on things. And that is pretty much modern medicine. And it doesn't really matter where it comes from.